Welcome back to our Network and System Security course. Today we're diving into Module 8, Infrastructure Threats and Security Monitoring, based on the CompTIA Security Plus Guide to Network Security Fundamentals, 8th edition. In this module, we're going to explore the various threats to infrastructure and how we can effectively monitor and protect against them. Whether you're a student, an aspiring cybersecurity professional, or just passionate about keeping our digital world safe, this video is packed with valuable insights that you won't want to miss. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. If you find this video helpful, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and drop a comment below if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. Your support helps us continue creating great content for you. Alright, let's get into it. By the end of this module, you'll be able to describe different types of network attacks, perform security monitoring and alerting, list and describe various email defenses. Let's dive in and learn how to protect our networks effectively. On-path attacks, also known as man-in-the-middle attacks, happens when a hacker positions themselves between two people or devices that are communicating. The sneaky part is that neither of the two targets knows the hacker is there. This gives the attacker a lot of flexibility. They can either eavesdrop to collect valuable information or even change the message before it reaches its final destination. On-path attacks can be really dangerous because they can go undetected while causing a lot of harm. Man-in-the-middle, MITM, attacks are attacks in which a hacker inserts themselves into the communication between two parties. Their goal? To eavesdrop on the conversation or to impersonate one of the parties. A typical MITM attack happens in two phases. First, the attacker intercepts the traffic between the two parties. Then, in the second phase, they decrypt the transmissions to access the information being shared. MITM attacks are especially dangerous because they can compromise sensitive data without either party knowing. Replay attacks are a sneaky type of on-path attack in which the attacker makes a copy of a legitimate transmission and then uses that copy later on. This way, they can trick systems into thinking they are a legitimate user. A session replay attack takes this a step further. Here, the attacker intercepts and uses a session ID to impersonate a user. This allows them to gain unauthorized access to the user's session. Attackers use various methods to steal an active session ID. These include network attacks, like MITM impersonation attacks, and endpoint attacks, such as cross-site scripting, Trojans, and malicious JavaScript coding. Understanding these threats is crucial for protecting sensitive information and maintaining secure communications. The final type of on-path attack we're covering is the man-in-the-browser, MITB, attack. This attack is all about intercepting communications between your browser and your computer to steal or manipulate data. Here's how it works. It usually starts with a Trojan infecting your computer and installing a malicious extension into your browser. This extension activates when you launch your browser and patiently waits for you to visit specific web pages, like your online banking site. As soon as you enter sensitive information, such as your account number and password, and hit submit, the extension captures all that data from the form fields. This allows the attacker to steal your personal information without you even knowing it. Staying aware of these threats and how they operate is key to keeping your information secure. Threat can also be based on DNS attacks. DNS helps us connect to websites by matching names with IP addresses. But attackers can exploit this system. In a DNS attack, they can redirect your traffic to a malicious site without you knowing. This can damage the reputation of legitimate domains and lead to dangerous URL redirections. Common DNS attacks include DNS poisoning, which corrupts DNS data, and DNS hijacking, which changes DNS settings to redirect users. Knowing how these attacks work is key to keeping your network secure. DNS poisoning involves altering a local host file on your device to redirect you to a different, often malicious, domain. Attackers achieve this by adding a fake entry that points to their own DNS server. On the other hand, DNS hijacking targets external DNS servers. Attackers infect these servers with fake IP addresses, redirecting all users who access the server to malicious sites. This method exploits protocol flaws to make the legitimate DNS server accept these fraudulent entries. A distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack aims to block legitimate users from accessing a system by overwhelming it with an enormous flood of requests. Unlike traditional DOS attacks, which use a single source, DDoS attacks harness hundreds or even thousands of compromised devices to hit the server with an overload of traffic. These devices, unknowingly controlled by attackers, make it hard for the affected users to realize their endpoints are part of the attack. Attackers have two main strategies to generate massive amounts of data for DDoS attacks. First, they use a vast number of compromised devices to send countless fake requests. Second, they may deploy amplified or reflection attacks. Here, the attackers exploit misconfigured internet devices or services to reflect and magnify the attack traffic, sending a much larger payload to overwhelm the target. This double-pronged approach makes DDoS attacks particularly disruptive and challenging to defend against. Malicious coding and scripting attacks can also come from software like PowerShell, a task automation tool from Microsoft. PowerShell uses commandlets, which are .NET classes for specific operations. Attackers exploit this by injecting malicious code directly from PowerShell into other processes, bypassing the need to store harmful code on the hard drive. This technique makes it harder to detect and prevent these attacks. Another common attack vector is Visual Basic for Applications, or VBA versus BA, is used in Microsoft applications to automate repetitive tasks through macros. Although macros have been around since the late 1990s, they're still a popular target for attacks. Cybercriminals exploit VBA to create malicious macros that can automate harmful actions, making it crucial to handle macros with care. Python is another language often used for malicious purposes. This versatile programming language works across various operating systems, but it's essential to follow best practices to keep it secure. Always use the latest version of Python, stay updated on vulnerabilities, be cautious with string formatting, and only download libraries from trusted sources. By doing so, you can help protect your systems from potential threats. Finally, Bash, the command language for Linux and Unix systems, is a scripting language that can automate tasks, but vulnerabilities in Bash itself can be exploited. For instance, one exploit allowed attackers to attach malicious files to variables, which would then execute when Bash was run. Keeping Bash updated and secure is crucial to protect against these types of attacks. In the OSI model, networking tasks are split into 7 layers, each handling different aspects of communication. Layer 2, or the data link layer, is crucial because it handles how data is divided into packets. If Layer 2 is compromised, it can impact the entire communication process. Understanding and securing this layer is key to maintaining overall network integrity. For example, Address Resolution Protocol, ARP, poisoning. When a computer knows an IP address but not the MAC address, it sends out an ARP packet to find out the MAC address. This address is then stored in an ARP cache for future use. ARP poisoning takes advantage of this by spoofing a MAC address, tricking the network into thinking the attacker's device is something it's not. This can lead to serious security issues, so it's crucial to be aware of and defend against this type of attack. 2 common MAC address spoofing attacks include MAC cloning and MAC flooding. In a MAC cloning attack, an attacker finds a valid MAC address and clones it onto their own device. This tricks the switch into mapping the attacker's device to the original MAC address, allowing them unauthorized access. In a MAC flooding attack, the attacker floods the switch with packets, each with a different spoofed MAC address. This overloads the switch, causing it to fail to properly manage MAC addresses and potentially leading to data being sent to the wrong devices. Both methods can disrupt network operations and compromise security, so it's essential to implement robust defenses against these types of attacks. Knowledge check. You have discovered that the network switch is broadcasting all packets to all devices. You suspect it is the result of an attack that has overflowed the switch MAC address table. Which type of attack would you report? MAC spoofing attack, MAC cloning attack, MAC flooding attack, or MAC overflow attack? Answer: MAC flooding attack. In a MAC flooding attack, a threat actor will overflow the switch with Ethernet packets that have been spoofed so that the switch enters a failure mode, which is a predefined set of actions based on a failure of a network component. You have discovered that the network switch is broadcasting all packets to all devices. Let's dive into monitoring methodologies, which are key to keeping our network secure. Monitoring involves checking network traffic, activity, transactions, or behavior to spot any unusual or suspicious activity. There are two main types of monitoring. Anomaly monitoring. This method detects statistical anomalies by comparing current activity to a secure baseline of what's considered normal. If there's a deviation from this baseline, an alert is triggered. Signature-based monitoring. This approach looks for specific, well-known patterns or signatures in network traffic or behavior. It compares current activities against predefined signatures to identify known threats. Both methods are essential for identifying and responding to potential security issues effectively. Another way to approach monitoring is through behavior-based monitoring or heuristic monitoring. Behavior-based monitoring sets a standard based on normal processes and actions. It continuously monitors the behavior of processes and programs on a system. If anything deviates from the norm, it triggers an alert, helping to catch unusual activities early. Alternatively, heuristic monitoring uses experience-based techniques to predict whether a process or program might be harmful. It evaluates potential threats based on their behavior and characteristics to determine if they could cause harm. By combining these methodologies, you can create a more robust security monitoring strategy to protect your network effectively. Let's go over some key activities involved in effective security monitoring. Scanning. This involves a continuous, automated search for signs of potential attacks on your network. Reporting. Generating documentation to summarize and communicate the results of your monitoring efforts. Quarantine. Isolating compromised systems to prevent further damage and spread of an attack. Alerting. Detecting potential threats and notifying operators to take action. Alert tuning. Adjusting alert settings to minimize false positives and ensure you focus on genuine threats. Archiving. Keeping historical records of monitoring activities for future reference and analysis. These activities help ensure you have a robust and responsive security monitoring system in place. There are a variety of tools at our disposal to monitor and alert suspicious activity. For example, Wireshark is a popular GUI tool that allows you to capture and analyze data packets on your network, providing in-depth insights into network traffic and potential security issues. TCPDump is a command-line packet analyzer that lets you capture and display packet data, offering a powerful way to perform network analysis from the terminal. TCP Replay enables you to edit packets and replay them back onto the network. It's useful for testing and observing how modified packets behave. These tools are essential for thorough network monitoring and can help you stay on top of security concerns. Now, let's shift gears and talk about flow analysis. Flow analysis involves monitoring network traffic to detect when it exceeds a set baseline, providing alerts for potential security issues. Key differences. Unlike traditional network traffic monitoring, flow analysis for security eliminates the need for monitoring agents, uses deep packet inspection, and provides more detailed information. NetFlow is a session sampling protocol collects and analyzes IP network traffic, giving insights into network behavior and helping identify anomalies. Understanding these tools will enhance your ability to detect and respond to security threats effectively. Now, let's dive into data loss prevention, or DLP. DLP systems. These tools help protect critical organizational data by identifying and securing it from unauthorized access or loss. Content inspection. DLP systems analyze the content of transactions within its intended context to ensure data is handled correctly. DLP rules. Administrators set up specific rules that are uploaded to the DLP server. When a policy violation is detected, it gets reported back to the server. Implementing effective DLP measures is crucial for safeguarding sensitive information and maintaining organizational security. SNMP is an essential tool that helps you manage and secure your network effectively. Simple Network Management Protocol monitors and manages network devices remotely, sending alerts for critical issues. Log aggregation collects logs from various sources into one place, making it easier to search and analyze for potential problems. SCAP, Security Content Automation Protocols, automates vulnerability checks and ensures compliance with security standards. These tools are key for maintaining network health and security, streamlining your monitoring processes, and staying ahead of potential threats. A Security Information and Event Management (SIEM) system is key for keeping your network secure. It brings together real-time monitoring and management of security data with smart analysis and reporting on security events. Here's what a SIEM does. Aggregation. It gathers data from different sources into one place. Correlation. It connects related events to spot patterns and potential threats. Automated alerting. It sends out automatic notifications when something looks off. Time synchronization. It keeps all event logs synchronized with the correct time. Event duplication and logs. It handles duplicate entries and keeps detailed logs for later review. SIEM systems help you stay on top of security by making it easier to detect, manage, and respond to incidents effectively. A Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response (SOAR) system enhances your security operations by building on what SIEMs offer. While SIEMs help you monitor and manage security alerts, SOARs go further by integrating more advanced data gathering and analytics. This allows SOARs to automate incident response, making it easier for security teams to handle large volumes of alerts efficiently and effectively. Knowledge check. Which type of monitoring methodology looks for statistical deviations from a baseline? Behavioral monitoring, signature-based monitoring, anomaly monitoring, or heuristic monitoring? Answer: anomaly monitoring. Anomaly monitoring is designed for detecting statistical anomalies. First, a secure baseline of normal activities is compiled over time. A baseline is a reference set of data against which operational data is compared. Whenever there is a significant deviation from this baseline, an alarm is raised. When it comes to email, there are two key components you should know about: the Mail User Agent (MUA) and the Mail Transfer Agent (MTA). MUA, this is the software you use to read and send your emails from your device. MTA, these are the programs that handle the routing of emails from the sender's end to the recipient's end. As emails travel from one MTA to another, information gets added to the email header. This header contains crucial details, including an analysis by the MTA, which helps in understanding the email's journey and its authenticity. Email threats can come in several forms. A malicious payload is harmful software or attachments that can compromise your system. Embedded links in emails can lead to phishing sites or malware downloads. Impersonation emails pretend to be from legitimate sources to deceive you. And forwarding sensitive information or emails can lead to security breaches. Being aware of these threats helps you stay vigilant and protect your email security. To defend against email threats, you can use several key strategies. Spam and phishing filters. These help catch and block phishing attempts and malicious emails. Anti-malware tools. They protect against harmful attachments and payloads. Additional defenses include Sender Policy Framework (SPF) verifies that an email is sent from an authorized server. Domain Keys Identified Mail (DKIM) adds a digital signature to ensure the email's integrity. Domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance, DMARC, combines SPF and DKIM to improve email authentication. Secure Email Gateway, SEG, monitors and filters email traffic to enhance security. These measures work together to protect your email communications from various threats. SPF and DKIM warrant a little more discussion. Think of SPF as a bouncer for your email server. It checks if the server sending the email is legit and authorized by the domain owner. This helps keep out email spoofers and ensures real emails aren't wrongly flagged as spam. DKIM is like a digital seal of approval. It adds a signature to your email that verifies the content hasn't been tampered with and confirms the sender's authenticity. Wrapping up our look at email defenses, domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance, DMARC, is like a traffic cop for email. It allows domain owners to set policies in their DNS records, specifying whether they use SPF, DKIM, or both, to send emails. This helps catch spoofed emails and ensures authenticity. Secure Email Gateway acts as a vigilant security guard for your email server. It filters and inspects incoming emails for malicious content. However, SEGs have their limits, such as relying on single-layer security and exposing protections to multiple root domains. Knowledge check. Which of the following email defenses uses a digital signature? SPC, DKIM, DMARC, or, it depends on whether or not the email payload has been encrypted. Answer, DKIM. Domain Keys Identified Mail, DKIM, is an authentication technique that validates the content of the email message itself. This validation is accomplished through a digital signature. Let's see how confident you feel about these objectives. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 meaning you're super confident and 1 meaning you're not so sure. If you score less than 4, it might be a good idea to review the module and related exercises. Describe the different types of attacks on networks. Do you feel confident in understanding network attacks like DDoS, MITM, and DNS attacks? Explain how to perform security monitoring and alerting. How sure are you about setting up network security monitoring and creating alerts for potential threats? List and describe different email defenses. How well do you know email security measures like SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and SEGs? Take a moment to think about each one and rate your confidence. In Module 8, we covered key topics including types of network attacks, understanding threats like DDoS, MITM, DNS attacks, and more. Security monitoring and alerting, techniques and tools to keep your network secure and respond to potential threats. Email defenses, methods to protect against email-based attacks, such as SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and SEGs. If you found this module helpful, please like, subscribe, comment, and share to support our channel. Your engagement helps us grow and continue providing valuable content. Stay tuned for more insights and tips on network security and monitoring. Thanks for watching.